In the footage you are about to see, a woman can be seen desperately banging on a neighbor's front door, to which a man runs up behind her and grabs her, dragging her out of view of the camera while she can be heard screaming and obviously resisting. As the struggle continues, the man chillingly threatens the woman if she doesn't stop making noise. The neighbor was obviously extremely concerned after seeing the footage that their doorbell camera had captured, and they sent it to the police as soon as they could. The police started an investigation immediately, and they ended up finding the woman in the video being held captive in a house just around the corner from the one where the footage was captured. The man in the video was quickly identified as Robert Mendez, the ex-boyfriend of the woman in the video. Robert would end up being charged with kidnapping as well as the suspicion of attempted murder. Throughout the ordeal, the woman in the video sustained multiple injuries, and despite having to be hospitalized upon being freed from her captor, she was fortunately able to make a full recovery. This incident was obviously very traumatizing for her, and things obviously could have been much worse had that house not had a doorbell camera and reported it to the police. This next clip was posted to Reddit about a year ago by the homeowner's neighbor. The neighbor received a text from the homeowner telling him to go check on his wife because he wasn't home and someone was trying to break into the house. The neighbor quickly ran over to the house, but he didn't see anything. Upon opening his phone though, the neighbor had sent him the following footage. In the footage, a shirtless man can be seen crawling up to the homeowner's porch, obviously trying to avoid being caught on the doorbell camera or being seen by anyone inside the home. It is unknown if the man in the video knew that the homeowner's wife was home alone or if he chose the house at random, but either way it is clear that this man was attempting to break into the house, and if he had gone unnoticed, who knows what would have happened to the wife. This next clip was captured by several cameras around this person's house. The owner of the home was not home at the time, and unfortunately they had their dog with them as well, which meant it wasn't home to scare off anyone trying to break in. One hooded individual can be seen walking up to the front door and knocking, all the while their phone is ringing pretty loudly. When nobody answers the door, the individual is caught on another camera at the front of the house as they go back to a car parked across the street. The individual then leaves the car and enters the homeowner's side yard, to which they end up pacing around some more while checking the place out and making a phone call on speakerphone. Another suspicious vehicle ends up pulling up to the house, and multiple other people attempt to open the sliding glass door at the back of the house, but are only able to open the screen door. At this point, the house's security alarm starts blaring, and the individuals, of which there were at least 4, grab the packages from the front door and drive off in multiple vehicles. Many commenters questioned the homeowner as to why they didn't speak through the cameras, and they said that they were just shocked and didn't think of it. They did end up calling the police though, and they arrived about 20 minutes later. Unfortunately, even with the footage, nobody involved in the crime was ever identified. This next clip was recorded only a few days ago as of recording this video. In the clip, a very wide-eyed and sketchy-looking man can be seen approaching this person's front door late one night. The man proceeds to stand at the door for over 30 seconds before the homeowner calls out and asks if he can help the man.
How can I help you?
This is, my name is James.
Who are you looking for?
Sosa.
Who?
Sammy?
What's your name?
James.
And who are you looking for?
No, a friend of mine.
No friend of yours lives here, buddy. And I got a over here ready for you. So if you don't get the off my porch, I'm gonna unload it on your face. Get the off my porch.
The man is obviously nervous as he is heard stuttering and obviously makes up a reason for being there on the spot. The homeowner can tell that the man is feeding him lies and proceeds to yell at the man and tell him to leave his property immediately. It is clear that this man was intoxicated and he was most likely trying to break into the house to rob it or worse. Luckily, the man ended up leaving, and at least so far, he hasn't come back. In this next clip, a man looking to be in his late teens or early 20s can be seen walking up to this person's Ring camera at the front of their house. As the man gets closer, you can see that he is holding a brick in his hand, all the while looking straight into the camera, clearly not even trying to hide his face. The man then proceeds to beat the camera several times with the brick, obviously trying to make sure to destroy it properly. When you start to think about why someone might do this to a house, there are very few, if any, innocent explanations. Whether the man was planning to hurt the residents of the home, rob the place, or something else is unknown. The incident has been reported to police, but unfortunately in many cases, even with high quality footage of the perpetrator, police are unable to identify the person if they happen to be targeting the home at random. If the perp ends up being someone the homeowner knows, on the other hand, there is a much better chance of finding the individual responsible. In this case, it seems the homeowner feels that this person strongly resembles someone they know, and hopefully this will lead to the person being held accountable for their act of vandalism and possible plans to commit other crimes against the homeowner and their community. This next clip was captured only a month and a half ago in early October of this year. In the footage, a man wearing a black hooded jacket can be seen approaching the homeowner's front door. Upon reaching the door, he immediately tries the doorknob, but the door was fortunately locked. The man then proceeds to take a few pictures of the house from various angles, and he also appears to be texting someone and constantly looking over his shoulder. After about a minute of doing this, the original poster says the man also entered their backyard through the gate and engaged in similar actions. The homeowner made this post to ask other Reddit users if this guy looked like he was casing the place, and obviously many people, including myself, feel strongly that he was. Commenters would point out smaller details about the video footage, such as the fact that the man immediately puts his hood up following the camera's lights going on. This fact alone makes it pretty much undeniable that the man was up to no good. As I have discussed with past clips, there would be no reason for any good-intentioned person to feel the need to conceal their identity in a situation like this, so we can only hope that the man decided against taking any further action here. Not a whole lot of information was given by the homeowner about this last clip, but in the clip, a woman who the homeowner has never seen in his life walks up to the door late one night and starts stabbing at the camera with a large knife, as well as screaming and generally seeming insane. It seems that the woman left the homeowner's property after doing this and nobody ended up being harmed, but this clip is just another example of why you shouldn't open your door to people you don't know. If the lady was indeed on drugs like it seems she was, she would most likely have no problem attacking a person the same way she did the doorbell, and that is obviously a situation nobody would want to find themselves involved in. In this final clip, the homeowner's neighbor can be seen running up to the front door of the house early one morning and banging on the door. The reason behind this banging was that the neighbor had noticed that the house had caught on fire, and she knew that the family of 6 was sleeping inside and most likely wouldn't notice until it was too late.
Your house on fire. Get out. Move.
After banging and yelling for over 30 seconds, the family finally wakes up and they all make it out of the home unharmed. Had the neighbor not shown up and acted as she did, this situation could have resulted in a much more grim outcome. The neighbor from the video actually ended up being recognized and awarded by the local fire department, which I think we can all agree was much deserved, and the family is very grateful for her heroic actions.